6:32, we'll bring the meeting to order. First up, modifications and changes, anything?
We do in other business, we do have Abby wants to speak to INSC, which is what, NISC, which is what our package for our financial and billing system.
Okay. Anything else? Public comment. There's nobody here from the public tonight, so review and approval for the minutes of May 28th, 2024. Is everything?
I only have a few yellow marks.
Oh, okay. What do we
I'm
got?
not surprised, those were kind of like, we moved so much stuff around.
Number one,
What I
I
do.
presume it should be lawn sale giveaway. I mean, and these are just simple typos. Number three, seconded by Heather, if we're gonna be proper. And
What was the second one, where was it, I'm sorry?
Number 3.
Oh, yeah.
seconded by
Oh,
Heather.
yeah.
And number 16, I presume to be proper, my name is Sandra.
Did I switch it?
Well, you called me Sandy, which is fine,
Oh.
but that's, that's not,
I
my
usually-
trustee name.
I usually try to say Sandra. I catch myself every once in a while.
Well, I always feel like my grandmother's mad at me when anybody says it. And that's it, that's all I had.
Wow. I don't look at those.
Other than that, was there anything missing or?
Nope.
We got all-
Everything read just fine.
All right, motion to accept them with those changes.
Move.
Second.
Eli with the first, Sandra with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Alright.
Those opposed, nay.
You can call me anything you want.
As long as
Just
it's
don't
not
call me
late
late for
supper.
lunch.
I always try to catch those, because I catch myself typing Sandy, and I'm like, no, I gotta stay consistent.
Well, don't worry about it.
I was done with those minutes by the end of that.
You've had enough by the time you
Yeah,
do
that
it,
was a
so
good one.
let me worry about it.
All right, water and wastewater allocations for 71 J-View Drive.
So Carmelo just wanted to make things right. They were 0.2 off for the gym that's going in, the old child center.
Oh, it's a gym.
It's a franchise of, whatever that thing is in St. Albans, Planet
Fitness.
Fitness.
Planet
No.
Fitness?
No, it's fitness.
No?
It's the fitness zone.
No.
Oh, okay, well, one of those places.
It is, yeah.
Is it locally owned then?
Yes.
Cool.
If you want to see all the equipment, come over to my new building.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, so you're just
It's all
like
hiding there?
Place for.
Are you playing with it all?
I have not been. There's not much room to play. There's a lot of stuff.
No wonder you wanted the couch out of there so quickly.
So it's actually requested by Carmelo, not
Yeah,
the owner.
notice that. All very proper.
Yep, that's good.
Well, I don't think point 2 is gonna load our system too hard. Motion to approve the additional point 2 sewer and water allocations for 71 J-View.
Move.
Second.
Eli with the first, I heard Leonard second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Up next, water and wastewater allocations for 487 Main.
This one has me a little curious.
So the request is put forth by the Boyces, who are current owners. Or they're giving the permission for the current owners. As far as I know, they haven't closed yet.
It's supposed to close the end of this month, according to.
For the
Corey.
new owners, Corey Parent and Parent Properties, for an additional allocation as they're adding a unit.
Is this inside or in addition?
I believe it's.
Just in there somewhere?
It's, yeah, a break off or a.
Might as well call them cubicles.
Is this the one across from you, Sandy? It's, how big's the parking back there? Well, I guess it's only asking for
There's
allocation.
a fairly good sized lot.
It's a pretty good sized
Good
lot.
sized lot back there. I think he's already been working with Jesse.
Yeah, he's been working there since the end of May.
Yeah, and he's been working with Jesse.
Oh, that's,
for
that must be why that truck was there,
The
Yeah.
white pickup truck.
renovating it, yeah.
Yeah, that's his father. He's there. About every other day. They tore the so-called apartment that was there, giving everybody so much grief, they tore that, just ripped it right out. But that's a tiny apartment, so I can't imagine that's gonna be split into two, because it's a postage stamp by itself.
Don't know.
He's dealing out of mine.
It's a pretty big apartment.
Yeah, it's pretty good size factor.
Well, if the board agrees, we'll accept the additional allocation.
I'll move.
Eli with the first,
Second,
Leonard with the second, sorry Sandy.
that's quite all right.
All those in
Leonard's so
favor
quiet you can't hear him.
of one additional water and wastewater allocations for 487, Maine say aye.
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 I don't-
Those
I
opposed,
thought it because they already existed.
motion carries.
But they need to pay, how does that work? They need to pay within those new allocations, doesn't there have to be a deadline for payment though? Otherwise they stay on our books forever.
So we do have, I don't know the point two, but, let's make sure we add these in, so we already have. Because there is one adjustment we identified in the ordinance. So if you can approve that,
Two-year.
but then it's also start construction with.
Right, well, it's already hooked up.
Right.
So how does that work though? Because is it within just a 2-year deadline that it needs to be paid within 2 years?
Must be, but it's usually whichever comes first.
Right.
So if he's already hooked up, then we need that allocation now.
That's where I'm confused, alright.
Yeah, I don't think we need these for tonight. It's only if it's brand new.
What's that?
It's only if it's brand new.
Right, right. So what if we're approving additional?
So then we just do these ones right here. Making the allocation price connection of the system. But I don't believe you have to use this.
But we had language that we used for Curly Block before. They're already
So I would just
connected.
go with this to be safe. not
Just
this
the
one.
2-year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that motion, we need to make an amendment to include payment of the allocation within 2 years
Both of them?
on
Yes.
both of the 71 J View and 487 Main.
Move the amended motion. Motions.
Eli first, Heather second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Yeah, we should probably.
We have Lori's finishing it up, she's not done yet. She's a checklist that we're gonna go through for each approval. And then it'll be in the letter,
Yeah, okay.
because we're gonna make sure we have it right.
Right.
So she's almost done the checklist. It's in there.
Okay, up next, park request for Abundant Life Fellowship School supply giveaway. Sorry.
We do it every year, I think.
Yeah, I have for several. It is in August. Bless you. Yeah, and it's not even a strain on the portalette because they use the bathrooms at their church.
Yep. So it's just the park and the bandstand.
Bless you.
They're not.
Water retort, you have to go home.
Yes, please.
Okay, so it looks like they have a permit request for both the park and the bandstand. I don't see any issues with it. Sounds like an excellent event. Motion to accept both.
Move we approve, waive the fee.
Second,
Eli with the first, Sandy with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That motion carries. Up next, we have Enosburg Rec Committee, movie night in the park.
Yeah,
That's gonna
so,
be a hard sell. So
yeah,
that's gonna be a hard sell.
I know, right? We're not really changing anything that we've done in the past, except for that instead of a Friday night movie, we're moving it to a Monday night. We're gonna do it directly after the final Summer Sounds concert, so we're kind of piggybacking off that. So we're looking to do it, it's Monday the 19th. Food trucks will be on site for the EBCA until 8, so people can eat before, and the movie should start shortly after that if they want. We'll have free water, popcorn. Same thing, just different kind of, we're just doing one night and just seeing if people want to stay after the concert. and watch a movie instead.
Well, that'll work, should work well both ways. You get more people at the concert and you
And
might have more people at the
I know,
movie.
right? Kind of, we're hoping it'll be like
Kind of a
a
win-win.
end of summer,
Yeah.
night out, so yeah.
Well, I think that sounds fun.
Yeah, I move we accept,
Right.
waive the fee.
All right, Sandy has the first, Heather has the second. All those in favor of, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Cool.
Question,
Yeah.
I'll email you.
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook that the community kayak rental is on pause.
Yes, so, there's a individual down there that is camping there, living there, whatever the situation is, and there were some concerns from some of our people that were renting kayaks and canoes, people that are maybe wanting to camp there. There was some, they have confirmed that he is on the offender registry, so out of concern of safety, we've shut it down until we know that this individual is not in that area. That's kind of all I have right now. It was just, I was asked to stop the program for now until we can kind of figure out more of that situation. And obviously,
If it's who I think it is, he's supposed to have been approved for an apartment on Pleasant Street.
okay,
We're just waiting to get the one that was in there out.
okay, and it is, because it's private land, they have to issue a no trespassing, warrant or whatever. And I think that is in the process as well, so that will hopefully help move things along, so.
Yeah, Jesse's supposed to be emailing.
Yeah, Jesse was helping kind of move that process along, I think, too. So and it was just out of abundance of safety that let's just stop the program for now and we'll see how we can make sure it's kind of a safer situation for everyone, so. And there was, I guess there was a lot of people reporting back to Ben, who was renting the kayaks for us, and they're like, well, we're not really, he comes around when we're there, and he was saying he was friend of the canoe company, so there was just, people were uncomfortable, so, yeah.
That's really important.
Yeah,
I get it.
I will give you this too, I sent you,
Yep.
the email, but this is a
After.
printout of the grand opening of the playground and dog park.
And you guys sent you guys an
Yep,
email
you got that,
yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to have you guys there if you could come. Thank you. Thanks, guys. You ready? Did you let me take that?
We like to get them as young as possible, so they'll be
I know, I said, does
interested.
anybody want to come to a meeting tonight? And he was like, I'll come.
Nice.
But then when you got here, you said, what do I do?
Thank you.
Thanks, Margo.
Bye.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Park request for the American Legion coin drop. Park?
No, not park, because it's in
Just
front of my
a, just
house.
a request, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good luck with that one. What day of the week is it on?
10 August.
How's that work?
As long as construction isn't going on, we'll be all
Saturday.
set. It's, okay, I don't, nah.
So he
Yeah,
wants
they're
the
done
park,
for the
or
afternoon.
they
No,
just?
he wanted
they just
that
want-
area, I just put it.
Oh, okay.
They
It
usually
came in
are
as a park
somewhere
post.
between,
They're by the bank.
my house and
You just
3 or
drive
4
through
houses.
Yes.
Yeah, he has where he wants to
Yeah.
place it.
And he's gonna have big signs.
O'Reilly's in Golf Course Road, somewhere in there.
Yep,
Yeah, they usually.
Bottleneck everybody.
maybe wherever there aren't holes in the road.
Right where there's
Some-
the construction.
Yeah.
It
could be better, it could be worse. Who knows how that might go?
Oh, you're right. I'm just trying to think of where else. They probably want to catch the traffic going on Orchard Street, but now that we have all those speed bumps, I think there's going to be less. So I mean, if we, it is a Saturday.
You know,
I
Main
guess,
Street
so-
is Main Street, so I'm sure that's why they
Right.
feel that it's a lot better than any side street.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was just concerned about traffic, but being a Saturday, I think the construction would be.
They didn't, I don't think they worked on a Saturday
They
yet.
don't.
Should we make a, if they are working, put them down towards like across from, like between Dickinson and school, somewhere in there, like in front of the Roses House Pizza.
They could
Yeah.
almost be around like the bollards and the flower pots.
Or maybe like
Yeah.
in the area in front of the
Yes.
park.
Somewhere down there,
Yeah.
out of the construction zone.
Yeah, just because we certainly don't want anybody getting hurt.
Okay, so, motion to approve the request, provided that there's no construction that day, and if there is, they'll move down, further down Main Street.
Move.
Second.
Eli with the first, Heather with the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay. Quincy Hotel variance for wastewater.
I don't have anything on paper.
No, and so basically, it's just, so when we were on site the day, we had talked about a pump station from the new building to move in front. So let me back up, and everybody remember when the gym came in and so forth. And we went up there prior to any work being done, and we advised and came up with a game plan that day that the pump station needed to be put in, and it ran from that building to in front of the Quincy, which would bypass Quincy's system and the grease trap and all of that. They proceeded to run it to the back of the house, of Quincy, which would then run through the grease trap and through the whole house out. And again, the compromise was to do this so that no digging would have to be done to the street, to just tie directly into the street.
So the depot wouldn't have to be done.
Right. Peter Mazurek, the engineer, came back and said, after doing some work, they don't think it needs a pump station. They believe it's gravity. It should be gravity fed fine from that new building to in front of the Quincy. So I guess the approval of the variance would be a pump station or a gravity fed system from the new building to in front of the Quincy, bypassing the grease trap. If that doesn't work, then a pump station would need to be installed.
So we need do they need a motion to override our ordinance for our single tap ordinance?
For the variance for,
So after our last meeting, I stopped in and talked with Brian and Gary, and we couldn't really come up with a reason why they had that ordinance in the first place, other than to protect two different landowners. So we're gonna, I guess, abandon that ordinance if the board thinks that's a good route to take, or amend it to the point where it'll work in the future without restricting stuff.
I mean, we do have that H100 now, so that, like with 487 Main Street, where, you can add units. It's a lot easier to add units, add second homes within property, or if you have a big enough lot, you have a single family home, you can add another small unit. So with the creation of this H100, I mean, it doesn't seem like we're gonna get a lot, but there could be more asks of this because of that ease of being able to add on units or a whole other building within the same footprint of its current.
So how does it work then with like, what do they call them, multiple family homes, like a duplex where one person owns one half and they're connected?
That would
That would be like a townhouse.
A condo, something like that? How does it work? Like, do we even have any of those?
You don't have any of those.
I can't think of
A
it.
townhouse?
I don't think we have any
Right,
condos.
so that would kind of apply to those types of structures, I would imagine, that you'd only have one, it's one structure.
connection.
You
Yeah,
have one
typically,
connection,
though, with
multiple owners.
That kind of building, you have an association, so there's shared stuff that you
Okay,
pay into.
so it'd be like a private infrastructure and then one single line.
Yeah, like they take care of the roof together, they take care of the lawn together.
HOA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess, what do we want to do? Do we want to amend the ordinances to allow for specific variances, or do we want to just abandon the ordinance altogether?
Do other communities have these that kind of ordinance, like?
I believe Brian reached out to Swanton and they didn't have any,
I felt much better about it when Brian felt better about it.
he was just nervous about setting precedents, I think.
Yep.
Right, yeah, which, I mean, if
It's
it's,
completely
sense, but-
understandable, because
But, yeah,
once we allow one person, then, how come we couldn't allow everybody? But at that point, we gotta do something about,
I mean, really,
Yeah.
it's not gonna pose, it shouldn't pose a problem on our end. If it's gonna pose a problem, it's gonna be on their end.
right, they own from where
Shut off,
our
yeah.
main is
Yeah.
up, or yeah, the shut off, if there is one up. So, I would have to imagine that ordinance was written to protect the landowners, like kind of the servicing infrastructure people.
Because the only issue with this particular scenario would arise if, like, if Betsy's kept the Quincy but sold the apartment,
Right.
so to speak, so.
Yeah.
That will happen, that's her retirement.
Yeah, I know, I'm just hypothetically, like,
But
it's
that,
like, I see like the similarities to like easements on properties too, like it's important to be informed when a person is making a purchase that part of the property has an easement and therefore you can't build or something over there.
right, and we were talking about that, like, say there was a subdivision that it's marked in the deed or somehow wrote down that this is what the plan was, and basically give them an easement for infrastructure to go through the property of
right,
whoever it was purchased from, or whatever.
right.
So, yeah, we got some thinking to do, I guess. Or just do a swamp style and not have anything, just let them hook around.
Could we grant just a one-time variance for this and then work on it?
If you want more research,
Oh, yeah, I think that's,
I agree.
it's gonna take some time.
only info I have is I know, like Jim mentioned last time, Peter claims that it's not a state regulation. It does go town by town, but most towns don't have it. That's from them. Then, like you said, swamp, when we looked at the swamp, they don't have it, so I can do a little more research.
I mean, that's not how you do it.
Okay, so it sounds like we need a motion to approve a one-time,
I have a question before the motion.
okay,
Should, may sound silly, should I recuse myself? I'm back on the payroll.
probably wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, so a one-time motion to allow a sewer, quote, double tap, 2 structures into 1 inlet on the main, for the Quincy.
Move.
Heather with the first, Heather with the second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That motion carries. So yeah, if you can just have, I don't know, Brian and,
Let Brian here research.
Brian's done a fair amount of research on it already, so he probably has quite a bit on it.
okay. Sounds like a plan. Up next, we have ARPA funds utilized to pave Maple Park.
I can pass this around.
You
So,
want to have these down this one for everybody, just see the ones.
So I just wanted to update, so we did, with that project over on Church and Maple Park, we had some funds, ARPA funds set aside, so that when the project was completed, we would go back and pave Maple Park and then finish the sidewalk on Church Street once all the work was done. And unfortunately, Maple Park was in such disarray, they basically couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So we decided to just pave Maple Park and get it done with. Because we figured the folks there have been living through some bumpy times. So we had them pave Maple Park, and then we used some of the funds that were directed towards the sidewalk to cover that. So that basically done, overdone with. And then Abby and I will work to either identify other funds or work for another grant to fix the Church Street sidewalk.
Do we have the
I think
final
that's fair, they did live with a lot.
But
Do we have the final dollar amount on what it ended up costing to do it?
I haven't seen the bill, no, from,
So I don't think it used all of the Church Street funds from the last email chain that I saw, like, of this 81,000, it tapped into it, but it didn't deplete that full amount.
Wait, so what happened here?
so Maple Park, we were supposed to, they were supposed to shim and after they were done.
Paved Maple Park.
Um,
Well,
basically overlay.
Yeah.
And then we had ARPA funds set aside to go back and repave it next year and do the sidewalk,
Okay.
or whatever. The plan was to do that. But Maple Park, by the time they were done, there was just no overlaying. It was nothing we can do. So either we left it in stone or gravel or pave it. It's essentially
Full pave it.
full pave it. So now it's done.
And we had those funds already allocated.
So
to
We had
both
those funds
things.
for both of those things.
But just
It
one
may
this year,
be-
one next year.
Yeah, so basically what happened is this 58,000 it was gonna be a little bit more to get it done. This is an old quote from a couple years ago, so obviously to pave Maple Park's gonna cost a little bit, I forget the numbers, what they gave us.
It wasn't much more, it's like
No.
66, I think.
Yeah, so what we're saying is that we need to tap in, because of the overage, to tap into the funds, this 81,000 that we had set aside for Church Street. And John and I need to brainstorm, maybe we'll try to find a grant for Church Street or come up with another funding solution to make up the difference so that we can still get Church Street completed as well. We're not putting it off or putting it on the back burner, but we needed to kind of adjust the funds because of this situation that came up on Maple Park.
Sometimes stuff comes up you can't do much about.
And like I said, it's not, so after the 58,000 goes towards Maple Park, I don't believe it's gonna tap into too much of that 81,000 because there was some contingency in this project as well, that if they didn't end up needing to use, we could put that towards the paving portion. But Ron's crew was here, mobilized, ready to go, so the decision was made to just get it done and put back because it was a mess.
It was, it looked terrible.
And the potholes, we did have some.
I wouldn't have wanted to have lived on Maple
Yeah.
Park this summer.
I know, I talked to one of the residents and it was pretty bad.
Well, good, we did it, it's done, they must be happy. They should be.
Yeah, we haven't got the final bill from,
No, we haven't got the total yet.
Okay. They did pave it already?
Yeah.
And we haven't got a bill for that?
no, we're
Yeah.
waiting for the final
The
bill
final
for the
bill.
whole project and it'll be, part of it will be in there. Once we get that, I can send you guys an update on what the funds look like.
Okay.
I can hear your wheels.
Yeah.
I can hear where his wheels are spinning.
So did we have any action on this or?
No, it was just kind of an FYI update, because it's ARPA funds, we just wanted to give an update on the funding of it.
Right, okay. Any other questions on that?
And again, I mean, the funding was there, it was estimated, and these are estimates of completing those projects. So essentially not much, nothing really changed per se, we're just giving you an update because we did end up paving it. So we didn't know what it was gonna cost. These were estimates that Gary put in to set aside ARPA funds to finish those projects. We just made sure that it was done because the game plan was to skim an overlay and redo an estimate, but they couldn't even do that. They had to get it completed. Does that make sense?
Okay, up next, manager's minutes.
So Elm Street update, I don't know if anybody heard some rumblings or not, but, so they did do the test pits, along Elm Street, they're even doing some more today. Those are all co-patched, I know that we had a few bumpy days in there. Not sure quite why they put those big rocks in at first.
Yeah, that was just cool. I mean, that stuff was, the aggregate was spraying all over every time somebody went by
Just
it.
like,
What
might as well
the
just
hey?
left those.
Yeah, so they came back,
Yeah, that's, yeah.
they came back through and put more of the packed in there, and then they've now overlaid them.
Yeah.
And they're gonna start cutting the pavement and so forth. But so far, all of that's moving forward.
Yeah, I have a question about that. I just dawned on me the other day while I was looking out my window. Is everything happening on the west and north side of the street?
Yes.
Okay.
The other side of your street, yes.
Yeah, the opposite side of, because I don't have an X on my tree.
Right, no, it's coming up that side, that's why I can't remember how far down, I think it's the Spavancure, that's why they have to go up for the temporary water,
Mm-hmm.
cross Pleasant and come back down.
Okay.
But yeah, all works for that side.
Well, that should help with the one-way traffic thing. At least there's something that, will be semi-solid.
Right.
What about individual house hookups? Are they gonna dig up? Are they gonna dig for that, or are they gonna be able to hook up the existing?
They're hooking existing.
There was a sign that said construction starting July 9th. Is that like when they're like gonna
Yes.
That's
start
right,
the
they're
dig?
really gonna start.
Okay, 'cause I was like, they're doing construction.
Yeah, this is a semi.
This is just an appetizer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
just a feeler.
well, now they're getting, so Jordan, they did hire Jordan St. Pierre to do the trees.
What's that house went on the market today? Where the two trees are.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I saw that sign.
They were hoping to do that by the end of June, but I guess it sounds like that's gonna be the first of the real construction. So that week of the night,
Guess
so
what's
they're
out of the
gonna, start taking trees down and then start going from there on the project.
They're gonna
Is that when,
close,
yeah, is that when they're just gonna completely divert traffic away from there, or will it still be one lane for some of that?
You mean for the trees?
Trees or any of the rest?
I had heard they were gonna, like, totally.
There is gonna be times, it's gonna be very fluid.
Seems like it would make more sense to me to close it, divert everybody, and just have local only, but probably can't.
No, yeah, because it's 105.
Right.
And the goal is not to close it, there may be parts of the project where they have to
I feel
shut
like the
down
traffic would flow better.
if it was just diverted.
Yeah.
Again, it's gonna depend on
15,
where
20
they are in the
ambulance calls.
project. Because there's gonna be times, like Sandy said, they're gonna be off in the shoulder, and one lane will be fine. But there's gonna be times when they have to be in the middle of the road, they have to shut down. So, and then it's gonna depend on some of the way the project goes, and where they start, because it's water and wastewater, so, it's gonna
And
change.
obviously on that side of the street, they're going to have to let the people who live there in and out of their driveways.
Right. We're gonna try and make it as unmiserable as possible, I guess.
It'll be miserable,
But
but
it's gonna
as
be-
unmiserable as
I don't
possible.
think that's gonna be possible.
And there's gonna be some, it's gonna be a little bit of a mess at
Yeah,
at
I'm gonna
points.
wish I hadn't washed my windows.
Can't these people park on the golf course to the back of their house? You know, not, the people that like myself, that live on the street.
I mean, we haven't gone down that road, because if they had, I'm sure the golf course is gonna have tournaments and stuff,
They
and
usually
still,
camp right
yeah, I mean, it's usually pretty busy in there. I always find that interesting,
I
too,
think
there's
there'd be
some more
room for
people
a
during the
few
week that
cars.
don't work and must golf. I'm always like, how are these people doing? The lead inventory update, we're gaining on that. That's the where we had to go in and check everybody's lead inventory, the pipes coming in from the walls. We have, and while we're in there, because we're doing the water meter change out, we're trying to get pictures of the water meter, the entry of the water system into the house, and valves and so forth. And we're really gaining on that. I think we have like 467 or 487 total customers, water customers.
Can't let.
And we're, not that we've seen yet, no. It's,
Great.
it's mainly galvanized and then the PVC. It's PVC.
Excellent.
So that's coming along. We have to have it done we're trying to have it done into A&E by September, end of September, so they have time to get it to the state. But, we're at over 300 now, so we're just getting into houses seems to be a struggle. and I'll do as a pitch, if people are listening, is we have been hanging the door tags so that people can kind of do it themselves. Go and take a picture. So.
They mailed some stuff out too. Did some mailers.
And then A&E mailed, must be they mailed to all of Enosburg, because I got it in my house. So they must have done all 05450.
Most of the time, yeah, they'll do that because there's no way to separate it out.
Yeah. So yeah, A&E also did another email as well. That's part of our grant funding, was that letter they sent. 32 Main and 24 Main, the asbestos was done today on 24 Main, and according to Darren's, he'll be back after the project in Derby Line, so in the next couple of weeks, 24 will be taken down and be gone. We're still waiting to close on 32. I don't know what the holdup is, we're pretty much ready to go to close on 32.
They're waiting for the couch to be picked up.
Yeah.
It hasn't been rained on enough yet.
So-
Get a little heavier.
So everything's go there. The village designation is complete, and we go with the state, and I've been told that their June meeting, early June meeting got canceled, or their only June meeting got canceled, and that they'll approve it in July. Don't remember the village, that whole issue. So the village designation is the tax break that you get as a village designation. That's what our Main Street and so forth is. And then we have the whole map issue. So we had to go through all of the proceedings. We had to go to planning and DRB. Then we had to go back to the select board. Then you folks signed off on it. So that's all done and into the state. We're just waiting for them to approve that. Another pitch for the hazard mitigation plan, if you haven't, if you folks would like to. So that we have two plans. We have an emergency management plan and then the hazard mitigation plan. The hazard mitigation plan is more of like a long-term look at what hazards could happen to our village or our area. The reason why we need a hazard mitigation plan is because a lot of the FEMA, like when we apply for FEMA funding, they ask for it. So we're kind of, and even with the two buildings, they're asking for it. So they're kind of giving us a leeway to get it in and get it done. We're on the final stages. So there is a survey out there. If you go to the village website, or if you see these posters around, you can scan the QR code and take the survey. It's kind of the last stage. They want public input. And then I think we have one more meeting, and then Sean with NRPC can put it together and send it off to the state and get their blessing. It's been tried to be completed a couple times, so we're pushing it over the finish line this time to get that. Speed bumps are in on Orchard if you haven't seen them yet. And then the guys are going to be working on the one on Water Tower Road. And as we had mentioned, we're going to wait on Pleasant Street. We do have one to put in. We're going to wait to see how traffic can handle itself during the detour time.
Yeah.
If things start to get crazy on Pleasant Street, then we'll probably put one there to help keep things at bay.
We do one on Water Tower or two?
We had last year, we had approved to put two, and we can put two, but then we came back and we figured to start with one. So we can order, right now we have enough to put the one on Water Tower and one on Pleasant. If you had noticed, the accessibility in front of the library is in, so they painted that. So they did go back and finish painting. I don't know if you saw the paintings on Depot.
Yep, looks good.
But hopefully we make people do this
Hopefully.
instead of this. And the accessibility spaces in front of the library, signs up. And they finished the rest of the crosswalks around the village. And so, yeah, after the speed bumps, the only signs they have left to get put up is those temporary parking signs in front of Falls Apartments and so forth. So, that's all I got.
And the guys are doing those. The guys are doing those?
The
Our
signs?
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highway Department's doing all the signage.
Thank you, John. I have something for other business. I got a letter from the State of Vermont Office of Oral Health, and we were awarded the 2023 Community Fluoridation Reaffirmation Award.
From that meeting we had that night. with the
Yeah,
Alaskan dentist.
very excited.
Good thing he came.
Yeah, so just wanted to let you know that.
Yay
We're
for
pretty cool
us.
people.
They're saying they're gonna fund the program for the next one.
Right.
They're gonna start paying for the.
Sending us
phone right
20
now.
years worth of fluoride.
Yep. I don't know if that's the same, so
It's the
Gary.
same one that Gary
Okay,
got,
okay.
yeah.
It said there's an enclosed award.
Yeah.
We get
Gary,
it every year,
Oh, we got to apply.
yeah.
Gary's got.
Oh, we got it every year?
We've gotten it every
I don't
year.
feel special now.
Wah, wah.
It's
We've
big
gotten
news
it
to
for the
me.
last few years, at least last few years in a row. I know we've gotten it.
It should be, here's your 5-year certificate.
Yep. Any other business?
The youth center was just awarded a continuation grant of $45,000 from the United West. So
Wonderful.
the first grant was $20,000, this is $45,000.
Awesome.
Very excited, it's half painted, it's most of, been spending so much money. It's been fun.
And this is,
It didn't come out of your checking account, so have at it.
and this is where we have to sign off on, Heather,
Perfect, great.
before you leave.
Where are you at with the 501c3? Because it impacts me with checks and bills, because we've
Yeah.
got several bills rolling in and I don't have enough checks.
Eli, do you have an update on that?
I can tell you, I'm a little bit disappointed in the direction that it was going, so I've switched gears and trying to find somebody else to assist with getting it set up.
So we have no insight at this point?
I've been talking to an accountant, see if they'll help.
Okay. I
So
may
I
need
was
to come up
talking
with a
to-
different plan then.
Didn't help as much as I'd hoped.
Okay.
I have if that's what we're gonna do, I have a list of some other possible opportunities,
I was
so.
gonna talk to you later.
Yeah.
We're probably going to need to purchase a book of checks then, because I can't keep doing temporary checks with the amount of, you've got all your utilities, reimbursements for all of your stuff, so and rent, so there's a lot of checks going out. This is gonna take longer. I think one book of checks probably do.
She has helped.
Yeah,
Just
let's,
okay.
maybe we can set up a half an hour.
Yeah,
chat,
let's regroup on that then.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
that sounds good, thank you.
Perfect.
No, you're okay. No, you know.
Oh, you had something, sorry.
Yes, Abby is actually on
I
here.
even have it wrote down.
No, it's fine. I have a couple quick things. Well, I think quick things, hopefully. One is, was in Hardwick today for the spring conference for the Vermont Community Development Association. Its focus was on municipalities and economic development and the role that municipalities can play in economic development. It was very good, very informative. We've got a lot of good stuff to bring back to the EDC on a revolving loan fund. And just kind of a couple good resources, but it was very interesting. There was talks, I know John's mentioned the TIF, the local option tax, and so a lot of good stuff. I've got to kind of put it all together, but we'll be probably passing some information your way, because my biggest takeaway from it honestly was that we are very behind the 8 ball on economic development within Enosburg. Quite honestly, I think St. Albans is really the only one in Franklin County that's probably on it right now, but there's a lot of funding sources and opportunities we're missing out on right now. So I gotta kind of regroup, go over a bunch of stuff with John, and our EFEDC board is gonna have a chat on a few things too with the revolving loan. We'll catch up after, but Hardwick, we met with their town manager today. They have a revolving loan fund and they are extremely successful. And we actually got to go to 2 businesses today that the revolving loan fund supported, and they were very adamant that they would not be in business if it wasn't for the municipality helping
They're
with that
doing a
revolving.
fantastic job. They were
Yeah.
in the toilet and now they're on top of the ceiling.
Honestly, I may talk to their town manager, is David Upson, he's been there for 3 years, but about possibly zooming in on a meeting. I think he could offer a lot of great resources. I mean, we walked all around Hardwick today. And they've done a lot of great stuff in their revolving loan program. Their select board runs it, they don't have a subcommittee like we have the Enosburg Falls Economic. So they do it all at the board level, but I think there's a lot of stuff that we could benefit from just kind of talking and networking with them on.
Gotta learn
for us.
everywhere we can.
Do they have an economic development grant writer kind of position?
So they have a new position as of 2020, actually. I can't remember her name. She was on one of the panels today, but she's part-time, but her focus is on like community engagement, community programs. Like she has her hands in almost everything except the Yellow Barn project. That's the only one she's not involved in. But yeah, focusing on grants, listening, community outreach, doing all like what do people want, what do people need, and then kind of coming up with a game plan. They've got a lot going on with the rail trail. I mean, their depot and their historic, I was texting John pictures of it today, is absolutely beautiful and amazing.
It was
Right there. Like, it is amazing.
Not
Their
that long ago, it looked
townhouse,
like a dome.
that where we had it today, was beautiful. They've got it as close to the original colors on the inside as what it used to be. And it's just, they've done, and most of it's been grant funded. So it was pretty cool, it was pretty informative. But stay tuned, because I think there's a lot of good potential for us down the road. The other thing is, I know I came to you guys, we've been talking about the new software. Been going back and forth to finalize the proposal and the package. Can you pass those down? You have one. So this is the final proposal. It is, bless you. It is about $15,000 more than the original one that I had put in front of you,
Isn't it?
simply because they met with a Clara. Oh, did I not make
Share,
sure?
Leonard?
Oh.
Share?
I still have some here, I'm sorry.
Give her- give her-
I think I gave John the wrong packet.
I feel like I've got too many.
So that's what the difference, that's the only difference, that 145, I wanna say was one,
Maybe nobody's supposed to have
I think
that.
this is.
that's fine, yeah, I gave you the wrong packet, was 136 or something like that. So that's the only difference right now, and that's after, excuse me, the conversation NISC programmers had with Clara. Because of the type of Clara that we're gonna be using for AMI, it is gonna require a little more in-depth configuration. They're going through this with Ludlow right now too. So I just wanted to put this back in front of you guys and just make sure we're still on board to move forward. Because if I get the green light tonight, we're gonna lock in dates for rollout tomorrow. Essentially, they're ready to roll. They've been doing all the behind the scenes stuff, and then at this point, we'll start working with Harris on figuring out transferring data. We're looking at next July rollout because of their timing, which is gonna work out fine now from the sounds of it with AMI, because there's no, that's never gonna happen now. AMI is still proceeding extremely slowly. Meters still haven't been ordered, and I think the last date was what, 40 weeks now? So
Going at the speed of government.
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Well, at first we were excited, but now that we're trying to do this, we're kind of like, okay, let them roll at that pace.
yeah. So I do have to tweak a few things with NISC because we're gonna have to import our current meter reads into the system, but I think that's just importing a data file, so that shouldn't be drastic.
When would we need to pay them?
Not until everything's implemented, so it wouldn't be until
So
like the end
another
of
year.
next year. We have another year.
And that's 70, 10, 10, 10?
If we stay 70, 10, 10, 10 for next year, yes, it'll be whatever the split is. Yep. I I would still like to see us move forward. I think NISC is going to make everyone's life in here a lot easier. The customer side of it is gonna be so much more user-friendly for our customers. The bills are gonna be a lot friendlier. The Smart Hub portal is gonna be better. The online payment processing is gonna be better. You can enroll in auto pay. We will see a savings on our postage, the stuffer machine, envelopes, all of that, because they do everything. We literally, if we have a stuffer, we send it to them and they mail out all of our bills. I know Ludlow said they had immediately, I wanna say 30 to 40% of their customers went paperless, so they had that savings on all of their postage. The timing of it will work pretty good because our lease contracts for the postage machine and that folder stuffer machine are up in 2026, so we'll be able to still have them on site for the first kind of 6 months to a year implementation. And then Psyche will gift wrap those babies to
I
stuff
don't know
like
if she's
that.
gonna kick, I don't know if she's gonna kick every day.
Our folder stuffer machine's a nightmare. Yeah,
Good night's lease.
be here for a day, so I guess use that thing. You'd be scared.
And what were our monthly payments right now with our current financials
So we pay one lump sum and it's about $20,000 a year.
a year?
And then there's also server fees on top of that, because we physically have a Harris server here. That'll also go away. So it is gonna be more of an annual cost. We're looking at $5,000 to $6,000 a month recurring.
Versus 2 to
Yeah,
2 to
so it is gonna be an increase, but we're gonna also save on the other side of things, because we're not gonna have to post it as much as the postage, the staff time, everything that we have with the mailers. It does take up a fair amount of Psyche's time.
And again, for cybersecurity purposes, they're getting pushed to go cloud-based. Much as we want to fight it, but
So
to keep insurance.
it takes the liability off of us because they will house our server. So if there's an issue, it's
Same with the other server too.
after,
Yeah.
if we move forward with that.
Yeah,
You're-
we'll work on that.
Oh, okay. Like John said, cybersecurity, for us, it's more beneficial to have them house it, because now it's their responsibility, and if anything happens, it's on them, not us. So yes, it is a lot upfront. As far as net metering goes with our solar, Jackie Pratt, who is the general manager of Stowe Electric, reached out a couple weeks ago. They're on NISC, VEC, WEC, Ludlow, and Hyde Park just signed with NISC. And basically everyone's getting together to get uniform on net metering. So if there's any changes or upgrades, we'll split the cost and do a cost sharing approach with things. So the few of us in the state that are making the switch to NISC, and I don't think we're gonna be the last ones either, we're all trying to kind of band together to have that cost saving approach. And this 170, it may not cost that in the end. They could get into it and not need to do. This is basically your worst case scenario, what it's gonna cost up front to implement. And then the monthly recurring is gonna be what it is. There's no changes in that.
And how long is that rate good for?
This,
Is it one of those sign up for Xfinity right now and 6 months later you're paying triple?
they have this one expires August 9th, 2024, then they probably relook at the rates. I don't foresee it changing drastically. They've stayed pretty much with their rates. Like I said, the increase now is simply because of the type of a flare. It's just a little more kind of work for them on the backside to get it to configure with their software. So it's a little more way above my pay grade tech stuff behind the scenes. And
But
I'm happy
the
to
monthly
have-
reoccurring shouldn't go
No,
up.
that will not go up. This is just the first time to basically build our
Yeah.
NISC. And I'm happy to get Jessica at our next trustee meeting. She's our sales rep basically that I've been working with. She's super helpful, very informative. So if you guys want, I can get her at our next meeting as well.
That's what she wants.
We trust it.
But it's fine.
So if you guys are good with it, I can let her know we're good to move forward, because then we can lock in to dates
Right.
and then finalize. kind of everything, because we'll have to start doing some work on our end in the office. But I think we'll be able to do financial first and then billing second now that AMI is taking so long. But I need to hash that, because typically they implement the financial software first and then implement the customer service side of everything. I was trying to get them to flip it, which they can do, they don't like to do, but they will do it. But based on my call last Monday with AMI, I think we're gonna be okay if we do financial first, then billing after.
Be nice to use it for a little while too before everything is right now.
Right, we can, because it'll be payroll, it'll be work orders, there's so much potential we can unlock, and it'll also help us shift a little more paperless. So we may have to look at some different approaches to some of this stuff, because all of the AP can be saved in a vault online and sent, and then we can still obviously hard copy for you guys to review if you want, but we may be able to look at changing a few practices and save on paper.
Save on space too.
Space and paper.
Totes and totes of papers.
Yes. And that was all I had there. If you guys are all set with still moving forward, I'll let Jessica know and we'll start kind of finalizing the game plan. Keep you in the loop if there are any changes. Perfect, thank
Sounds
you.
like we need to do it.
Any other business? All good? Alright, we got executive, so I will hear a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing discussing negotiations in which premature public knowledge may compromise the position of the municipality and a personnel matter. Either the first, Leonard the second, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed nay. Alright,